giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, streaming live on YouTube. And of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still, boom! Wow. Hey, look, we're going to talk about Trey. We're going to talk about a couple of these players with their final chance to show something. We got our guy Patrick No-See Walker coming through in the next minute. He's going to take us inside of the star. A lot of stuff coming out about Mike McCarthy. But come on, man. Y'all have outdone yourselves. Y'all have outdone yourselves. I am humbled. I'm overwhelmed with the love that y'all showed me yesterday. Here, obviously, on the show, our Bomb Squad members.
Bomb Squad!
And as well on social media via Twitter. And look what y'all have done, man. I'm at a loss of words. We'll have the subscriber countdown going all day today. If you guys don't know, you weren't here the other day, we are moving. We, as in Skywalker Still in the Nation, the Bomb Squad, we are moving over to a new YouTube channel, Skywalker Still Unleashed, giving you the same, if not better, let me not say same, better coverage of the Dallas Cowboys, more coverage of the Dallas Cowboys. And we just started the channel yesterday, and you guys have run this thing up to almost 1,000 subscribers already. Unbelievable, man. Like, I don't know, man. The love is crazy. It's crazy. Yes, Swain, I definitely know that. But, you know, I put my head down, I work, and try to make things better for y'all every day. But so I don't really hear or see a lot of these things. But when you let out the information and I receive, you know, the love that I received yesterday, and I see you guys running this thing up over 900 subs in 24 hours, is just unbelievable. So appreciate y'all. We didn't even drop a video yet. The first live stream will be on Monday, and we'll have some videos up as well. Next week, start the new journey, man. Start the new journey. Appreciate you guys and gals. Make sure I say that too. Let's jump right into it, though. We got to get the signs from our guy, Patrick No-See Walker. Yo, what's up with you, brother?
Hey, yo, brother. What's up, man? What's up? Let me go ahead and get the obvious out the way for the listeners. Yeah, I know. Shouts out to Notre Dame. They did what they needed to do, man. You know, anybody that knows me knows I am not a sore loser. I am a hyper-competitive dude. But at the same time, it's also true that if my squad don't bring it, then that's just what it is. So, you know, no excuses. Notre Dame went in there and they took advantage of our mistakes, forced the mistakes, then capitalized off of it. And we couldn't do the same, man. So they are more than deserving to head to the next round, to battle Penn State. And as far as my dogs, man, it's just like with the Cowboys, just hit the reset button and get ready for 25.
You know, I would say, how was your New Year's? But, you know, the dog thing happened. So
we
just
ain't
happy
gonna do
New
that.
Year's.
We ain't
Happy New
We ain't
Year's.
gonna do that. You know what? It's bittersweet, and that's the bitter part. Here's the sweet, though. The sweet is, number one, we got Raw Netflix starting on the 6th.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
On Monday. And number two, also starting on Monday, my boy Skywalker Steele new YouTube channel. So if y'all ain't subbed to that, what are you even doing with your life, man? Go sub to my partner's channel, man, because let me tell you, if you want some more of the science, it's going to stop here and it's going to move over there.
You already know it, baby.
Check in. Tap in, baby.
My guy, appreciate you, bro. You know, you said something about real quick, y'all. Sorry, sidebar. You said something about the Netflix and wrestling, and you know how on our show,
Yeah.
if you're not listening to and new podcast, right, and new wrestling podcast, I'm sorry, you know how I bring it in. Is there any dogs in the house? Unfortunately, you might have to sit this one out. You might have to sit this one out on Monday, but just on Monday. I got you the following week, but Monday.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. I take it how I give it. Pause. But it is what it is. Like I said, the Irish, they win in there and they got the dub, man.
Well, it's tough one.
No shade to them. The boys fought. It's all good, man. You win some, you lose some. We still back to back in that thing a few years ago. We'll get back to it. It's all good.
Well, let's talk about some good news though surrounding the Cowboys, because there's not a whole lot of that. Not a whole lot. But
I was about to say, what news you talking about?
Listen, let's check it out. The Pro Bowl was announced yesterday. The Cowboys got 5 of them things. So, that's like some good news. You got what's it called, a shit sandwich? So Dallas sent Micah, CD, Tyler Smith, Turpin, Aubrey.
Yeah.
And one of the things I noticed, fantastic article, was it? I'm sorry, apologies, bro. It was you or Tommy who wrote it? But on the Pro Bowl.
I think it was Tommy.
Okay. And what I noticed when I was reading it, I'm like, wait, it looks like all 5 of these dudes made history. Micah was one of like 2 players to go 4 straight. CD, one of like
Aaron
2,
Donald being the other.
Right. 2 Cowboys receivers to go 4 straight. Tyler Smith, one of 3 offensive guards or 2 offensive guards in NFL history to go to 2 Pro Bowls by the age of 23. And then Turpin and Aubrey. Turpin, one of 2 Cowboys players that have a receiving, rushing, kickoff, punt return, touchdown. And of course, Brandon Aubrey, the first Cowboys kicker to go to back-to-back Pro Bowls. I found that interesting, man.
Yeah, very, especially when you talk about the latter, because you're talking about in Cowboys history, obviously this is a franchise that's been around since 1960, and it's had its fair share of headline kickers, most recently being Dan Bailey, obviously. But, I mean, even if you go only as far back as Dan Bailey, it's wild to consider that Dan didn't even accomplish what Brandon Aubrey had just accomplished. And then when you look at the path that Brandon Aubrey took to get here, soccer, MLS, and I mean, all told, and of course, Aubrey going into training camp against Vizcaino and that bad day that they both had, and you're like, man, get both of these guys out of here. But Cowboys stuck with Brandon. They got Tristan out of here, and the rest is the rest. So, yeah, man. So shouts out to all 5 of those guys. And I saw someone yesterday, because I get it, people just need to find something to complain about, even when there's nothing to complain about. And this particular item we're talking about, those 5 guys who got a Pro Bowl nod, those 5 guys deserved a Pro Bowl nod. I understand this season has sucked. I understand this season has been ravaged by injury. I understand this season has been marred with, poor coaching decisions on both sides of the ball before Zimmer got things going in the back half, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's also true that there were some guys who put on capes and tried to save the day. And these 5 guys are guys who put on capes and tried to save the day.
But who got snubbed? I know the Cowboys have a losing record here, so there's not many more Pro Bowlers. But who do you think got snubbed in this situation this year for the Cowboys?
I was thinking on that yesterday, and there's a particular player I want to say, and I'm going to say, but I don't know that I can use the word snub, and I'll tell you why. Okay. Jordan Lewis.
That's
okay.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, Jordan Lewis had flat out a Pro Bowl caliber season.
I think so too.
He also had the best season of his NFL career, of his 8-year NFL career, and that's saying a lot, because we're not talking about a 2 or 3 year guy who just broke out. Like Jordan Lewis broke out long ago, and then broke out again after that, and then broke out again after that. So that's the kind of player we're talking about. And not only did he have a Pro Bowl caliber season on the field in a season where him looking around, he's losing defensive teammates like flies to injury and things like that, or poor play. And he never had that instance of poor play or slump play. He was the consummate leader on the field, off the field. When things weren't going right, he wasn't shying away from the camera. He wasn't shying away from owning accountability and passing accountability out. He was the main one talking about, we got to get better with the details. It's the details. Guys aren't practicing like they need. That was Jordan Lewis talking like that, right? So all told, I would love to say as much as I'm day one Jordan Lewis guy, and as much as I love Jordan Lewis, and yes, he deserved a Pro Bowl nod for this season. That being said, when you look at the names of the cornerbacks who were named to the Pro Bowl, Jalen Johnson and Byron Murphy and J.C. Horn and Devin Witherspoon, I think the only one that I could probably argue that Jordan Lewis maybe could have slid in over maybe is J.C. Horn. But here's the problem, though, is that Jordan plays the slot, plays the nickel slot.
Yes.
Yeah, so he plays the nickel slot. So that's going to make it, as far as the popularity contest that is the Pro Bowl is concerned, it's going to make it very difficult for a nickel slot to be voted in over an outstanding boundary corner, no matter how outstanding the nickel corner is. So there are some things working against Jordan Lewis, and he's not a household name, but I tell you what, those who know he is criminally underrated by national media, criminally underrated by his own fan base in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. And, I hope that the Cowboys can offer him a deal commensurate with his value and keep that guy in Dallas, because I would love for him to retire a Cowboy.
I do wonder, Pat, if this could be a situation where he doesn't make the Pro Bowl, but he makes the All-Pro. And I know that you might be saying, not you, but fans might be saying, whoa, Sky, relax. He wasn't that good. Well, if you go break him down, his numbers are better than some of those Pro Bowl guys. Mm-hmm. And we've seen that happen. I think Sean Lee here in Dallas didn't make the Pro Bowl, but was an All-Pro. Trent McDuffie, I believe, was an All-Pro, but didn't make the Pro Bowl. And I think the All-Pro voters now include slot. So I'll keep my eye on, even if he's a second team All-Pro in the slot, I think it would be deserving. And that that will 100% raise his price. It could potentially price him out.
Well, number one, you make an excellent point. There are circumstances where I know people think that, in order to get an All-Pro nod, you have to be a Pro Bowler. Well, no, those are two different things, because All-Pro voting is 100% about the football. Pro Bowl voting, a third of that goes to the fans, so a lot of it is about a popularity contest. And there's some coaches who aren't necessarily watching the players because they're focused on their own players. It's a different ballot being cast altogether. So I could definitely see Jordan Lewis getting some All-Pro votes, and I don't know that he'd be elevated to first team, but I do love the idea of him being second team. I think that he's earned it. I think that him leaving this season, the season that he's had as an individual and as a leader, with neither of those honors, that would be the snub for me, with neither of those honors. But as far as his pricing is concerned, I did have a really good conversation with him off the record a couple days ago, and I asked him, I said, well, number one, I told him, I was like, hey, everybody knows I'm a player advocate, so I was like, man, get your bag. That being said, I hope that bag is here. And he looked me right in the face and he said, you know what, man, for me, it's not about getting the biggest bag. It's about getting an offer that's respectable to my value. Mm-hmm. And he said he wants to stay in Dallas. He said Dallas is home. His kids were born here. His wife wants to stay here. So all of these are the reasons that Jordan Lewis wants to remain in Dallas. And the front office has already said they want him to remain in Dallas. So sidebarring that, stepping out and giving my opinion on the matter, I feel like let's come off with those 1-2 year deals. Let's give the man some stability. He wants to be here. Let's give him a 4-year offer. Make it respectable. Maybe like I don't know the number yet. I got to crunch his market value and everything. We'll get to that in free agency. But just make it respectable. He's not trying to set the market, but he's also not trying to start over in year 9 somewhere else, not knowing that system and, rotationally and how that fit is. He's proven himself coordinator proof here in Dallas. So just get the deal done. He can be a cornerstone for your secondary, especially since Trayvon Diggs may not be back for the start of next season. You got questions there. You don't know if Kalen Carson, what he's going to look like in year 2. Again, you got questions there. Is Josh Butler going to hit the ground running after having that breakout game and then suffering a torn ACL? You don't know. Keep Jordan Lewis in Dallas and keep him in Dallas beyond 2025.
Another player that has a lot of questions, more questions, I think, surrounding his either return or just his market in general is Trey Lance. And I don't know if the Cowboys did themselves any favors by not playing him this year, and really at all. He has 20 snaps in 2 seasons since he was traded back in August, and he only has 283 snaps total in 4 seasons as a pro. And here we are heading into the last week, and his name is getting more recognition as potentially playing. There's obviously the incentive part of Cooper Rush. I hope that doesn't factor in. It shouldn't matter about Cooper Rush's money. What should matter is you need to at least see something out of Trey. I don't give a damn if you got to put Trey at running back, but they got to do something. Will we see Trey Lance play, and not just play a snap or two, Pat, but a game or 3 quarters or something?
Yeah, I know that, it's out there right now that if Cooper Rush hits a certain percentage of his snaps, then it gives him an opportunity to cash in on a $500,000 incentive. And then there are some people saying, oh, well, that's bad news for Trey Lance. And those same people and others are saying, well, Cooper's done this much for you. You can't not give him the $500,000. Yeah, you can, because this is business, right?
Yeah.
And business means, this is business and football. 2 things I don't always agree, but here we are. It's business and football. On the latter, we still need to evaluate Trey Lance. He's received $5.311 million to throw 7 passes for a total of 22 yards this season.
At 3 yards per attempt.
Right. And y'all are talking to me about $500,000 to Cooper. Stop that, man. Stop. The guy who got over $5 million, and I haven't had a chance to evaluate yet, the coaching staff hasn't had a chance to evaluate in regular season games. That's the money. That's the number I'm talking about. I don't know why everybody's focused on $500K. I'm focused on the $5.3 million that basically got flushed. They never flushed down the toilet along with a 4th-round pick, and we still don't know what Trey Lance looks like for 2025, assuming he chooses to come back and be a backup for Dak Prescott. You don't know. So, yes, to answer your question still, I do believe we'll see Trey Lance on the field against the Commanders. I believe it'll be a significant playing time. And I'm just going to go out on a limb. I'm willing to bet he starts. They haven't made the decision yet, but my gut tells me that Trey Lance starts against the Commanders and plays significant time, and then we'll see some Will Grier sprinkled in there as well. So that's what I feel is going to happen. That's also what I would like to see happen. And roses to Cooper Rush, thank you for stepping in and doing what you can. But as far as the additional $500,000, I don't know what to tell you, Chief.
If Mike wanted to go out with a bang, he'd throw Trey Lance in there and then throw some Will Grier. We're gonna have some fun in this last game. We might get
have some fun.
We might get if you guys remember this, 2015 Kellen Moore, last game of the year, threw for 400 yards in that final game of a meaningless season. Man, so I would love to see something like that in this game, just for the entertainment.
Go back to Will Grier's last game in the Cowboys uniform, when they made the trade for Trey Lance, and then Will Grier went out there and absolutely destroyed that preseason game.
Yeah,
this is what I mean. Let's just have a Trey Lance and Will Grier legacy game. Let's go out on a high note. Let's have some fun. And if I'm Mike McCarthy and I don't quite know yet if I'm going to be in Dallas or not, man, I'm going out on my terms. I'm not worried about, if Trey Lance goes out there and balls, it's going to increase his value on the open market. That's a you problem. You ain't got me on the contract yet, so...
Speaking of which, real quick, before we get you up out of here, just the temperature surrounding Mike McCarthy within that building, because, the reports came out today. There's been more other reports this week. His name is starting, I don't know if it's his agent or whatnot, but his name is starting to gather some steam outside of the organization. And obviously after 5 years with the contract running out, and it's the Cowboys, his name is going to be in the media. But do you have a feel on the temperature of a possible return, or are they doing a damn good job keeping things close to the vest?
Man, they're doing a damn good job. I'm in the building, and the whispers are silent. Like, there are no whispers. Mm-hmm. So I got to cut it 50-50 right here. Gotcha. It could go either way. Now, as far as McCarthy, he's in a unique situation. He's not in the same situation that Jason Garrett was in his final year with the Cowboys. With Mike McCarthy, there are going to be suitors. Talk about him possibly returning to the Chicago Bears, not to the Bears, but to the NFC North as the head coach of the Chicago Bears. That's obviously going to be intriguing to him. Also puts him closer to home in Wisconsin, right? So that's an option. Don't know what's going to happen with the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? And Doug Peterson, maybe that's an option as well. Teams are going to look at Mike McCarthy, and what they're going to see is 3 consecutive winning seasons of 12-5 with the Dallas Cowboys, the biggest brand in all of football. And they're not too much going to hang any stock on what happened this year, because they are going to say, well, you were ravaged by injury and you only had 1 year with, Mike Zimmer to get some things going. They're going to look at his totality of work. And his totality of work in Dallas, as far as regular season is concerned, that combined with the fact that he still wears that shiny Super Bowl ring, teams are going to want to get a piece of that. And when you're a team like the Chicago Bears, you don't get to overlook something like that when you're trying to reset the culture. And McCarthy, for as much as we can also be honest and say the postseason success was not there under McCarthy, he did reset the culture over what Jason Garrett's culture was. So he's a culture changer. You would love to have seen him do more in Dallas in the postseason, and maybe we will. And I say that because we just don't know if he'll be back or not for 2025. But we'll find out as early as next week. But it doesn't sound like Jerry Jones is in a rush to get that conversation hammered down. So this could drag out a couple weeks or so.
Hey guys, there you have it, man. The final scientific method here on A to Z Dallas channel. But don't fret, man. Me and Pat, we're gonna kick it a lot more throughout the year, not just football wise. But Monday, make sure y'all tune in on Monday night. We got Monday Night Raw, the first debut episode on Netflix. We will be live, ladies and gentlemen, live. Yeah. Well, let me press the button for you. Yeah. Here we go. All right, bro. Appreciate you, big dog. I'll talk to you probably in a few days.
Yes, sir. I'll talk to y'all later.
My guy. Our last scientific method. Here. We are going to try to keep the science going for you guys over on the Skywalker Still Unleashed channel, where we run that thing up to 950. Can we get to K before we get up out of here today? Maybe. We'll see. Make sure y'all share it too, right? That's the other important thing is once you subscribe and you hit the notifications and whatnot, share it with your friend, families, and foe. Let them know that this is the place now to go in the mornings. And in general, because we're going to be doing a lot more there. I'm not sure if you guys are aware. I brought this up to a couple of friends in the industry here. We're going to bring back Around the Nation, and if you were around when we did that, that was fun. So I think it'd be a good opportunity to highlight a lot of the creators that are in the space, and also give opportunities for some other creators that are just starting to get recognized. I thought that was one of my favorite things I did when I was fully independent, was give everyone kind of a voice to, or an opportunity to kind of be showcased, even though I still was a young pup trying to come up in the game or whatever. So we're going to bring that back. That was fun. All right. Okay. No break. We're going straight into it. Oh, if you want to call in on the final full show here, because again, next week we will be dual streaming, and probably for about a week or so, we'll be dual streaming to get everybody fully transitioned over to the new channel. And things will look different too as well. 351-999-3787 is the call-in line. One more game left, y'all. We're not breaking down the Washington Commanders and none of that stuff, okay? Run that back, Turbo. Keep that in mind. That's one of our shows coming up soon. We're not breaking down the team, but there are some players that I think have a chance, and not many. We're not talking about the Golstons or the Lance. I'm sorry, the Golstons or the Lewises of the world. These veterans, the Osas. We know they've done enough. They put enough on film to get suitors outside of Dallas or return. But there are some players like a Trey Lance who this may be their last shot at showing something. Now, the last guy I'm going to talk about, I don't think it'll be his last shot, but it'll be his last shot to get us on his side. I tell you that much. But I think this is the biggest one here, man. You know, and there's fans who strap up the cape for the front office and say, you know, it's just a 4th round pick. And look, to be fair to you, you're right. It is just a 4th round pick. Although draft and develop, you might need that. And a savvy team would be able to get that back, or should be able to get that back. But it's not just the pick. It's how it was done. It's the lack of opportunities when you had a major opportunity to see something. And I know you could say, well, Sky, he sucks, so why put him out there? What did you really gain by not playing him, in all seriousness? What did you really gain? You won some games. Sure. Great for those players. They're going a 4-1 run. And here we are, pick whatever it is, right? Sure. But you got nothing. No return value out of Trey. Good or bad. Good being, if he did play well enough, then the comp pick could be involved in this situation. Or maybe you could, look to trade him prior to, the trade deadline already passed, so we can't really do that. But maybe in the offseason, a team wants to throw the bag at him and you might get a comp pick. If he does completely the bid, then you know for a fact that he's not the guy in regards to being a backup quarterback for the Cowboys, because he damn sure ain't a franchise guy. But you know nothing. And what worries me is maybe they know practice. Maybe there's that. Maybe they know in practice. But you really don't know a whole lot during the game. What worries me is that this front office, after putting in a 4th round pick, will say, well, it's worth bringing him back because we didn't see anything to tell us that he's not a guy that's capable. Preseason doesn't count, right? That's what I said. But it's preseason. That's the time to throw interceptions and things like that. And what happens is now you could be wasting an opportunity to draft a 5th, 6th, 7th round quarterback, or higher if you're one of those guys who want to draft one higher and let him develop. Or sign a quality backup quarterback if McCarthy's not here, which means Rush probably is not coming back. Because you feel the need to be right on a guy that you probably are wrong about, but you're going to try to tell us you don't know. That's what worries me. And in one game, is that going to change it? I was thinking about that toxic sunk cost fallacy. I was thinking about that. Is one game going to change everything with Trey? Probably not. Right? Like probably not. But at least it gives him some positive momentum if it's a good game, personally, heading into free agency. And then it gives you something. I mean, because you got, ladies and gentlemen, you've got nothing. You've got 20 snaps in 2 seasons. Gotta see more Trey, man. Gotta see more Trey. This next one, I was thinking about it. I don't know if he qualifies, but I don't know if him not playing will hurt him with the next coach. And hear me out. Deuce Vaughn. I don't want to say Deuce Vaughn has been a controversial. He's not. He's not even been a hot topic or anything like that. He's kind of been a forgotten guy, right? He's been inactive for 18 games in 2 years. Only 37 snaps this season. 37, 44 career touches, 3 yards per touch, and no touchdowns. Deuce Vaughn has done himself no favors from a production standpoint to get guys to rally behind him. But I don't solely put all of this on Deuce, okay? I think Deuce Vaughn knows how to play the running back position. I don't think he was used how he should have been used. I thought he was a satellite back that could do some things, as a running back, right? We saw a guy who has questionable vision, but he's fast, and Kevontae Turpin get running back carries. They're the same damn size. Well, Deuce is bigger, but they're the same height. So I don't agree with that. He can't play. I think Deuce Vaughn can play, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying Deuce Vaughn is an amazing player or anything like that, but I think Deuce Vaughn can do good running back things for you. I just felt like Deuce never really got put in a good situation to showcase that. And here's where I'm hesitant. If they get a new guy in here, a guy that is a brighter offensive mind that knows how to utilize different guys better, then maybe he becomes safe in a way, or at least he's able to compete, right? At least he's able to compete in the offseason and training camp, etc., to find a legitimate role. I don't think they truly ever try to utilize him to his strengths in a legitimate role. It was here, Deuce Vaughn, you get 10 snaps this week. You get 3 snaps this week. You get 2 carries. We'll throw you a pass. But it wasn't like Deuce was a part of the offense. Anthony G, I am notoriously biased to my short kings as a fellow short king. However, I'm not going to be that biased to pump my guy up, right? I'm not. What my man say? I was bigging up Denzel Daxon because we was talking about him. No, I'm not going to do that with Deuce. But I'm gonna be real. I think Deuce Vaughn elsewhere, or with a different type of coordinator that knows how to use his skill set, could at least have been useful. Is all I'm saying, man. Because this, and not just the numbers without context, but watching the film and seeing how he's used. Obviously, the blocking was atrocious for him 90% of the time, if not more. And just the way they were running Deuce Vaughn, it's like, why don't you get him in space, man? Let him use that twitchy ability that he has. Let him get comfortable a little bit. Let him be your satellite guy. And yes, he's not a huge player to deal with the blocking standpoint, but I think a good coach will figure that out. I've seen small players be able to be utilized without being an exceptional blocker, you know? So, and if he fails, then you know, right? So Deuce Vaughn, this could be, and I'm talking myself out of it, right? But this could be the last opportunity for Deuce Vaughn, ladies and gentlemen. Because if the new coach comes in there and it's not an offensive type of guy, and they don't have an offensive coordinator and he feels like, hey, I can use Deuce, I think he gone. I think Deuce Vaughn is going to definitely, I mean, you could say that about all the players, right? When you get a new staff. Deuce Vaughn is going to need a sponsor. I don't think Jeff Blasco was it. His father obviously was it to get here, but I don't think it was nepotism. I don't. I think he has a place in this league. I just don't know if it's here in Dallas because, well, Mike McCarthy. Speaking of which, real quick, if we could take a pivot before I get to my last guy. Did y'all see the report this morning? I mean, we knew about his contract expiring, but we got some details on the exact date. This comes from Tom Pelissero. Mike McCarthy's contract is set to expire January 14th, so it's not after the game on Sunday, right? That gives the Cowboys an exclusive negotiation window and a soft deadline to strike a deal or potentially lose McCarthy to another job. Like a lot of things with this front office, this scares me. And the reason why it scares me is because this front office is notorious for dragging their feet in a lot of things. We often talk about with contracts, but it's everything, right? It's free agency, it's coaches, it's hires, it's fires, it's pretty much everything. And if they decide to take, 11 days or so after the season's ends or whatever, or a week, I'm sorry. If they decide to take a week, there's a chance you could lose the coach you wanted. Now, I remember last year, Ben Johnson lasted, and look, I'm not saying Ben Johnson's coming here. I'm just saying this. Ben Johnson lasted all the way through the very end of the coaching hires because of his choice. He didn't want to take these jobs. And then the Washington football people made the final hire. They wanted Ben. Ben turned him down. They hired Dan Quinn. I don't think the Cowboys want to be the final team to hire a coach if they don't bring him back, because you know what's going to happen. Now we're talking about Ron Rivera. Now we're talking about John Gruden potentially, whose name is starting to get some steam. I know my guy, I think it was We Don't Wipe Them 304s. He wants a John Gruden on this team, as opposed to getting out in front of this thing and bringing in some fresh blood or doing a legitimate coaching search. And here's what's very frustrating. Stephen Jones talked the other day, and they asked him about, what's going on with the coaching search or decisions, because Mike is still on the team. And he said something that, of course, these guys say things that make me roll my eyes. I don't know if they're lying or not. Maybe they're just doing this to hide their real intentions and to not insult Mike McCarthy. But Stephen Jones insinuated that they have not thought about or put anything into motion in regards to the coaching decision. Let me get the actual quote. Let me not mince words here. Let me get an actual quote. Stephen Jones on San Antonio Sports Star. Quote, "We've been so focused on this season that we haven't really even thought about it in terms of timing." Stephen, you ain't coaching. Let the coaches focus on getting through the game. There's no trade deadline. You ain't signing any free agents. You need to be thinking about the coaching decision. You need to be figuring out, okay, how can we get an advantage here? Obviously, Mike McCarthy and his staff have done a hell of a job for us. We'll really sit down and go over that. But in terms of starting to set up time schedules and those types of things, in terms of when we'll make decisions, we haven't gotten to that point. Boy, if that does not scream privilege. It's privilege. They are privileged to have no pressure to make a decision. They are privileged to not have a timeline that they're pushed. I want to say Jerry even came out and said, "I don't got a timeline. Do this whenever and however I want to do it." Because can't nobody fire them. No one can hold their feet to the fire. But if true, because he could be lying to us, they're notoriously known for lying. If true, I think it's malpractice that you haven't even thought about, that you don't even have. What do you say? We haven't started to set up time schedule for those type of things. Meanwhile, other teams is interviewing general managers, setting up interviews for head coaches. You could make a case either way, right? Keeping things close to the vest. Or you can make a case that if you just flat out admit it, yeah, we appreciate Mike McCarthy. We love what Mike McCarthy has done. The door is open for his return, but we are going to take an extensive look because we have that opportunity to do so given his contract status. And when I say extensive, I'm talking about extensive look into the coaching search. That makes sense. You don't have to pacify us if that's what they're trying to do. I truly do hope that they do a thorough coaching search, even if it's bringing back Mike. Right? You can thoroughly interview guys, and if you don't like them, you like Mike better than whatever. But don't do Marvin Lewis, Mike McCarthy again. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. I digress. Let me get to this last person. If y'all want to run this back, we can talk more about this. Jonathan Mingo from the Jonathan Mingo Domingo gang. Okay, this isn't necessarily his final shot because I think Mingo will be on this team next year unless the new coach has enough juice to be like, "Hey, Jerry, what you talking about? I don't want him." But I just can't see Jerry acquiescing to a new coach after giving up a 4th round pick for this player. But this is, though, the final chance for Jonathan Mingo to gain some momentum, I think, within the organization, within the locker room, and within the fan base. I think most of the fans are looking at him sideways, and you could argue not because of him. Again, he didn't ask to be traded here, like neither did Trey. But how many games now? 7 games it'll be, something like that. 3 receptions, 22 yards. He had a chance, y'all. He had a chance to put If Cooper Rush didn't have a lollipop pop gun ass arm, he had a chance to have that moment. And that moment, I think, would have carried him throughout the offseason. You know what I mean? But if he goes out there and he finishes the year with 3 receptions for 22 yards, boy. Hey, let me tell you what's going to happen here. Jonathan Mingo, he's going to turn off his IG. He's going to turn off his Twitter. You know what I mean? Now, he's not that high profile of a player to where he's going to get all this hate. But if he happens to go look on Twitter and then searches his name, Cowboy Nation going to light his ass up. They're going to light him up, man. And it's not fair to him, but that's the reality of it. They gave up a 4th round pick for you. Fans want to see something. They want to see something. I want to see something. Not gonna lie. Now it's not all in his control. As we said, he burnt my man's, and my man, and, Cooper Rush threw a lollipop ball. If that happens again, he's gonna finish the season with 3 receptions for 22 yards. It's week 17 or week 18, y'all. I'm treating Jonathan Mingo like he's CD Lamb. You heard it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm treating Jonathan Mingo like he's Sedarian Lamb. Is that his name? He getting about 15 targets. What? Think about it. I don't need to see nothing from Tolbert, man. Not that I'm saying bench Tolbert, but just it could be a part of it. You know what Tolbert is. You know what Cooks is. Jalen Brooks, look, man, he is what he is. He's a 7th round wide receiver that can fight for 5-6 on your roster, okay? I know what Terp is, and for pure entertainment, I would love to see Terp, but I'm trying to get Terp back here, which that's another discussion, man. With 2 Pro Bowls under his belt, Terp might get paid. He might have to put the 2nd round tender on Terp. I want to see something from Jonathan Mingo. 15 targets. There needs to be a package on that KFC menu playbook from Mike McCarthy where a quarter of that page is Jonathan Domingo from the Domingo gang. I need to see it, man. Selfishly, right? I'm just speaking for Sky now. Y'all may not need to see it. Y'all may not care, but I do. We've invested a 4th round pick, and God forbid if they come out on the press conference, the draft press conference, the day before the draft, and I'm just warning you right now what will happen if this is the case, and they start pumping up Jonathan Mingo, whether he's doing good or not, in Sunday's game, just know ain't draft no receiver early. I'm just saying, just know. So those are my 3. If you guys have a player that you think could be making a final impression this season, whether it's period on this team as a free agent that hasn't gotten a lot of time, or as a guy like a Jonathan Mingo who kind of just needs some momentum to get us on his side. Iceberg Slim, welcome back, my man. He said 10 targets for Ryan Florida. By the way, Iceberg, new channel alert, brother. Just started the new channel yesterday. We are running this thing up, trying to hit 1K today. We're getting close. We'll probably get closer on the way out from today's show. So make sure y'all run that up over there if you haven't. Let me go post it one more again. It is pinned in the comment section, but I'll spam it right here so y'all can click and sub. Toxic Tom. Oh, you petty. He said, play Zeke. Oh, wait. Zeke, no. He cleared waivers, so I imagine that Zeke will be attempted to be picked up after the season's over. Dono re-signed ASAP. Brandon. Yo, D Shift, I literally thought about you when I saw the numbers, rising. I was like, yo, Shift said we gonna hit a K by Monday, man. We finna hit a K by the day. Shouts out to you. Donovan Wilson already got a decent, he's already here for next year. The conversation, which is interesting, Brandon, it's not really about re-signing Dono. The conversation has shifted to cutting Dono to get cap savings. I don't think they're going to cut both safeties. And we're going to have this conversation, y'all. That'll be part of our once we hit the offseason here, when the season's over. I think it's the wrong safety we're talking about. If they're not going to cut both, which I don't think they will, I'd cut the other guy. And the Georgia kid would be in play. And boy, if you know me, two things here. I love that. I love the safety position. My favorite. Grew up playing it. I think it's one of the most underrated positions, and it gets a lot of heat for no reason. But I love Kyle Hamilton coming out. Wanted him, but didn't think we had a chance at getting him. And all-pro player. Years ago, I think it was 2021 or 22 draft, when I thought the Cowboys were going to make a play at safety, and they didn't. I said, that's it. I give up. Not watching any more safeties. I do not, unless we're talking general draft on some shows. But for the Cowboys, not watching them. I don't care. They never will draft one. They haven't drafted one. Never will draft one high and take it serious. They haven't drafted one higher than the 5th round since like 2010 or 12 or whatever it was, when they took my man from Georgia Southern, converted running back. But I think if Zim returns or this new coach emphasizes safety, that Georgia kid is in play for sure. That Georgia kid is in play. Texas kid could be as well. Not that early, but just in general. Wasn't the Juan Thornhill draft? It was the... Unless this was the same draft. Was it the same draft? Is it Morag, the TCU kid that went to... Might be the same draft. That went to Oakland or Vegas. It was that draft that I thought there was a handful of guys. Was it Darius? Was Washington a part of it too? The shorter, or was that a different draft? Can't remember, but I knew it was that draft for sure. And I was just like, that's it, man. If they're not drafting a safety this year, they're never going to draft one out in the top 5 rounds again, man. And they haven't drafted one in the top 4 rounds since 2012, I think. Kayvon Frazier. Yeah, back then. And then the guy, we had this conversation before, Pat Watkins, Kayvon Frazier. Was it, I almost said AO. My man's from IUP. Shouts out to IUP. That's a PA thing. A lot of, and this was when, I think that honestly, when they took Matt Johnson and my man from IUP, I want to say that's when they turned to Will McClay, and Will was like, we are not taking, and Georgia Southern kid, we are not taking any of these Division 2, 3 type characters no more. And he talked about Power 5, Power 5, Power 5. Well, things switched a little bit. They have been taking not necessarily D2 guys, but smaller school guys, and not just Power 5 guys. But I remember when they had that conversation. I think it was because of the Matt Johnsons of the world, right? Akwanzi Owusu Amora, I think is his name, and the Georgia Southern, which I keep having a brain fart. But ladies and gentlemen, we're about to wrap this thing up. Appreciate you, Desmond. He said, I just went over and subscribed. We're 14 away from 1,000 subscribers in literally 24 hours. Excited to get this thing started, man. Or actually, it's already started, but to carry the momentum over from here to there. For those who have missed it, it's a new year, but we're talking about a better me. Head on over to the new channel, sub this thing up. Let's run these numbers up. And let's continue, man, to have fun. I'm going to continue to try to bring y'all information and deliver it in a way that is unique, entertaining, real, and engaging. I've always felt like the community we built here is unique and one of the best. CJ, so no more A to Z. Well, they'll still have this channel. There won't be daily shows. They'll probably drop some videos with Mo. Shouts out to Mo, by the way. I enjoyed working with Mo for the last 4 seasons. He is a superstar in his own right. I always tell him I think Derek Eagleton gonna snatch him up for the Somos channel, for real. I really do. But Mo will still be here. I think he'll be dropping videos on occasion, but they'll figure out what they want to do here. And wish them the best. But it's time to onward, forward, and continue to grow this brand to give you guys the best Cowboys coverage as possible in the most engaging way as possible. So come on over. Come on over. I saw my guy D Shift said 5K by month. Listen, now I love that you spoke 1K to existence. My brother, if we get 5K by month. I don't see 5K by Monday, but we're going to run this thing up. Once we start getting, content going, oh yeah, this is going to grow really, really fast. So how about this? When we do our Monday show, let's try to double whatever we got there, right? So if it's a little over a K, if we did a K in 24 hours, let's try to do 2K, right? We're going to share this thing across all platforms. Whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, IG, wherever. Share this thing across all platforms. Let them know to come through over on the Skywalker Unleashed channel. If you don't know, because a lot of people are up in here. Where'd you go? I just saw it. Text Rob. He said, wait, what is going on? Text Rob, after 4 seasons with A to Z, this will be my final season, but again, not the last of what I'm doing. I'm just moving over to YouTube wise to A to Z. I'm sorry, to Skywalker Still Unleashed, a new channel. Still going to be covering the team. Still going to be doing daily content, daily live streams, morning show, all that stuff. There are other things going on that again, like I said, got to dot the I's, cross the T's that may affect the morning show. But we're going to rock the morning show until we can't no more. You know what I'm saying? Brother, if I get 5K by Monday, he said give 1K to 10 people from 1K subs. Yeah, sure. Here you go. We did it, baby. Hey, let me channel my Barry Switzer. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it our way, baby. Hit 1K live. Let's go. We did it. We did it our way, baby. Y'all the best, man. How dope is that? How dope is that? All 1,000 of y'all better be over there too on Monday when we get the live stream popping. Y'all the best, man. Seriously, y'all the best. Oh, for the memberships, I just peeped. There's shouts out to you, sir, Lawrence, my guy. Appreciate you. For all those who have supported the channel monetarily over the years through the memberships. Let me get this out the way. Unfortunately, we can't activate memberships right away. We have to obviously build up the channel. Well, we hit the 1,000, so we hit mark number 1. Mark number 2 is to get folks watching, and then they will allow us to unlock memberships, unlock super chats, and things like that. In the meantime, in between time, if you do want to support, monetarily, you can via Cash App. I'll have the PayPal account linked up there, things like that. So I never ask for donations or anything like that because they're appreciated, and I don't like asking people to donate. But if you want to, it would have to be through Cash App, and you guys know I've been that way since I started. I'd never asked for donations, but if you want to, it has to be. And let me do this. Cash App. I'll have it up on a new channel too. Boom. But once we get monetized, we'll have the super chats going. We'll have the memberships going. We'll be able to do some more cool things for the members. So, yeah, I do have Venmo as well. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a little bit of a boomer. AG, you might have to hit me up on Instagram to do the Venmo thing. I just know my Cash App name. I don't even. Do Venmo have a name? Don't judge me. Do they do or you just put the number? I thought it was just the phone number. I don't really do a lot of Venmo transactions, you know what I'm saying? Lake City Fresh says, Sky, let me do the intro song for the new channel. I'm gonna tell you like I told my guy Willie Ways, who I'm gonna be honest with you, Willie Ways, he got first dibs on some music. Now he can do the outro, he can do other things too. Got to reach out to Willie Ways. But Lake City, if you are an artist, hit me up on Instagram, send me some of your stuff, and let's rap. Let's rap, because I personally like my intro song. Not gonna lie to you, I personally like the intro song. But if you got something in mind, we could talk and I could feature you, and shout you out, future your work and everything. Willie T, Sky, is the time Monday going to be the same? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will be here 8:30, 8:45, ish, heavy on the ish. And we'll continue to rock. I'm going to continue to go daily until I'm not able to go daily, if you understand. So right now, that is the case. Like I said, other things are happening behind the scenes, but that I'm not stopping while those things are taking place. We're still going to rock out. Okay. So yeah, Lake, hit me up on Instagram. Chill. My Instagram, same thing. ChillWill1026. Unless you're talking about the intro video. If you're talking about the intro video, that's different. But if you're talking about music, then yeah. Oh yeah, CJ, we're gonna have a new intro. Maybe not as early as Monday, but already got that in the works video wise. It's an outdated intro, obviously. We'll have a new intro. I'll just say that. Get Blade Brown to do the catchphrase. By the way, shouts out to my brothers, Foots, and first of all the content creators that have reached out to me, and on Twitter, I'm sorry, have retweeted or told people to go follow. Thank you so much. Shouts out to Foots and Vach. I noticed on their show yesterday, they did a whole segment at the end showing you guys how to go where to sub up to the channel, and people went into the comments and said, hey, I found the channel from them telling me, and they about to rock out with us. So shouts out to our guys. We're going to be doing work. Me, Vach, Foots. I'm going to be doing work with Vach and Broadus. Ain't nothing changing. We just getting better. That's all it is. That's all it is, man. That's all it is. We're overtime a little bit here. Professor O, this is for the OGs who are here. He said, have you ever heard of the Attitude Era in wrestling? We would never forget the Boston Scientific Era of A to Z. When we got that sponsor, I flat out told him, I said, I don't know if y'all watch the show, like literally watch the show, but I'm just letting you know right now, the chat is going to go off for this sponsorship. So I hope they don't have hard feelings when they see some of these jokes. And I'm going to play right into it. And y'all didn't disappoint at all. Y'all didn't disappoint. Law shouted out on a new channel. Man, Law is also another one that's been integral in this as well. So appreciate Law. He's been behind the scenes. We've had many conversations, and you could see some things. I can't speak. I don't want to speak for Law. He has to make his announcements for certain things, but there's going to be things with Law as well, man. So we back, baby. We back. Sir Lawrence said, I'm going to miss Specs. Hey, you never know, man. We might keep him around. Jeremy, is there going to be more Vach, Brian, and Sky team ups? Yes. I'm just going to say yes. Yes. Maybe as early as next week. So, but yeah, we're going to be teaming up. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to rock. 1,000 plus already over there. Make sure I head over if you didn't and share it. Share it. That's the most important thing. I'm going to go ahead though. Press this button for the final official sign off on A to Z Sports. I want to publicly once again thank Austin and Zach. For those who don't know, the A to Z stands for Austin and Zach for the opportunity. I remember when they hit me up, I told you guys a story. I thought it was fake. I'm like, what? I mean, because at the time I was getting, people hit me up for sponsors and things like that. And it was a weird time back in 2020, 2021. And I thought it was fake. I let these boys sit there for a day. Then they followed up and they said they wanted to do a Zoom meeting. And I'm like, oh, y'all real? This is serious? Did the Zoom meeting, heard them out. And I'm like, this is the opportunity. This is the opportunity. Now, I always knew this was going to be an opportunity as a stepping stone to something even greater, right? But I knew I needed to take advantage of this opportunity, improve, get better, perfect my craft, which I feel like I'm still trying to do. But they took a shot. And I want to thank those gentlemen for taking that shot. But we did it, baby. We've grown. We took the step. And it's time to do our thing again, man. So shouts out to A to Z. Wish them the best moving forward. The Skywalker still unleashed, baby. It's time. Now I'm going to press this button and get up out of here. For the last time here, it'll be the first time on Unleashed.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
Oh, there was more than that, brother. Swain, for a good bit, I've been working on other things. I just want to wait till they became a little bit more official to make the announcement. That's all, Swain. I'll see y'all Monday. Actually, I'll see y'all Sunday. Me and Jesse will be rocking Sunday for the final time at Canvas Sports and Social. Then I'll see y'all Monday. I want everybody rocking over to Skywalker Still Unleashed. We'll still be here too. But you get the point. We out. Love y'all. Peace. Only do-rags got. I'm gonna tell you something, Rolo. I actually got some new do-rags the other day. I thought about y'all. I'm definitely gonna get some custom do-rags for sure. Definitely gonna get some custom drums. Yes, very important. As Professor O said, because there isn't much content over there, when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know that we are going live and videos are dropping. Once we get this thing popping for real, it should be popping up in your For You page anyway. But you got to hit that noti bell to get it started. And then we off to the races, baby. We out of here, Bomb Squad. Love you.